insurance. I'm going to show you how to sell insurance without ever leaving the house, right? I'm sure I can get a show of hands of people who are excited to learn about that. So yeah, that's right. So this is a movement towards freedom. And in a minute, I'm going to talk about, what type of freedom that is for you, because it's different for everybody. But what now? I'm guessing a lot of you, this is probably not your first webinar. So the first thing I want to mention, look, is if you failed at selling insurance or selling anything on the phone in the past, or you're just plain stuck, it's not your fault. Okay. There's a lot of information out there. There's 101s and classes and stuff everywhere, right? So it can be an overload. Many times that information overload can keep you from success, and that's okay. All right. So if you've been concerned in the past and you can't succeed by selling on the phone, I want you to put those fears to rest, because you can do this. All right. You need the right person to explain it to you. Most all of you have been told that there's only one way to do this business, whether it's talking to your friends and family and making a 100 list, going out and knocking on doors. You got to do it this certain way, and that's the only way you'll be successful. I'm here to tell you that's simply not true. There's many ways to be successful. You have to pick what's a good fit for you, what's in your zone, and then focus on that. And that's what I'm going to show you here today. Okay. And of course, there's always the naysayers out there, right? They're out there trying to keep you from actually being successful. They're going to tell you you can't do this. You have to do it this other way. They're going to tell you have to do something else entirely. And they don't really care about your success. They don't care about seeing you live the life of your dreams. And I'm here to tell you that's what we care about here. Here at the Brand Group, we care about you. We want to see you live that life and that dream life that you first signed up to do when you got in this industry, right? And we're going to show you today how to make that happen. Is that all right? Good. So selling insurance on the phone requires a skill set that you haven't quite developed yet, but that's okay. If you can close a sale face-to-face, many of you on here are just starting out. Many of you on here are very seasoned. If you can close a sale face-to-face, I'm going to show you today how to close a deal selling over the phone. First thing we have to commit to is my mantra, right? All right. So you can read this off to yourself as I say it aloud. I am a closer, right? Just every day I get up, I'm a closer. I'm a closer, right? Because what is a closer? A closer knows no boundaries. A closer always shows up. A closer never takes no for the answer. A closer's always selling. A closer does the work required. A closer makes no excuses. A closer has integrity, has no ceiling. Closers write their own checks. And a closer knows that the product that they represent is the answer. And they won't let the buyer down by letting them leave without buying it. Now, this is not a magic pill, but I promise if you do the work, you will get more sales. You've got to show up. You've got to do the work. There is no excuse. I always say, kind of like the Matrix, there is no spoon. There is no excuse, right? You can't deposit excuses, only checks. And remember, no matter what, there's always one more. There's always one more call you can make. There's always one more sale you can make. There's always one more appointment you can go to. There's one more hour you can work. So anytime you feel like there's just always one more, anytime you feel stuck. Now, imagine your life by building the dream and the business of your dreams from the comfort of your own home. What's that day look like whenever you're going to be able to stay in the air conditioning? It's hot out here, right? So stay in the air conditioning. Be nice, be work on the phone, be able to condense your day down. That's what we're going to show you, and build that dream that you've always wanted to dream right from the comfort of your own home office. So who is this webinar for today? This is for you insurance agents out there who go door to door, who drive all over town, who spend all that gas money, who've been told that they got to sell to their family and friends. They got to make that 100 list and bug the crap out of everybody. And for agents who know that there's more to their business, but they need to learn how to do it, right? There's more market out there. They need to learn how to do it. And it's really for insurance agents who will do the work. So Earlier, I mentioned the goal, right? Freedom. So for everybody, that's a little bit different. Is it financial freedom? You hear that a lot, right? Is it time freedom? Is it relationship freedom? What is that freedom that you put on the board that you want to get and want to achieve? It's different for everybody, but just put a pin in it, tack it on the wall. What is that for you? That's what we're going to help you achieve. Keep that focus of what you're trying to acquire: time freedom, money freedom, relationship freedom, freedom to be with your family, right? Now, my goal for this presentation is to help two types of people out there. For those of you that are independent agents, and for those of you that are agency owners. So if you're an independent agent, I'm going to show you today how to exponentially increase your personal production without sacrificing more time. And if you're an agency owner, I'm going to show you how to get more personal production out of your agents in that agency. Either way, the goal is for you to be able to hit that volume that you've been trying to hit, get those bonuses, get the raises that you've been finally after, go to that next level that you've wanted to be at, that you've dreamed of being at since you started and enrolled in this industry. Now, what makes me qualified to show you how to do this? Well, since 2012, I've bought and sold over $14 million worth of real estate, bought, fix, and flip, buy and hold. I've sold over $12 million in real estate education over the course of 2 years. I currently sell $30,000 to $50,000 a week, and not with 200 representatives, 100 agents, 40 reps, just me, and in some situations, 2 or 3 other people. So I'm going to get into that in a little bit and how that worked out and how I got where I am today. But just know that all that boiled down to that I realized this is so much more scalable on the phone. Now, first thing we got to do is we've got to get some of these limiting beliefs out of the way. All right, stuff you need to throw in the trash right now. So if you're here to tell me, man, phone sales sound great, but I only know how to sell in the home, crumple it up, throw it away. If you're here to say everyone else around me is so successful, but they're selling in the home, throw that crap away. Right? I think I could do this, but the only training I have is how to sell in the home. Throw that limiting belief away. Or the worst one, I'm not good on the phone. Crumple that up, get rid of it right now. So let me share a little bit about my journey, okay? I've got a little saying, an app a day keeps the bill collector away, right? So it's focusing on the small things that really, really matter. And when I was getting started, I'm going to share with you my journey through what I talked about earlier, the qualifications, right, to show you how to do this. So when I started all this back in 2012, before that, for 10 years, I was a firefighter, a paramedic, and a hazmat technician. Loving life, helping people, doing everything great. 2012, I had one of many injuries, but that injury took me out of the game, and I had to figure it out. And so I went to a real estate seminar and learned, paid a guru $30,000 to show me how to flip houses. And this relates very, very simple, very, very replicable to what you guys are doing in the insurance industry. When this started, I went and got the data, right? The list of foreclosure people. I got in my car. This is what they told me to do. I drove around town, picked out divisions, knocked on doors. 18 months I did this, knocked on doors. I got real good too. I packed a case of water in my car. My gas bill was super high. I brought 3 shirts because it's hot here in Texas, so you'd sweat out your clothes. Brought all my stuff with me, my little book, my satchel, my equipment, my stickers to put on the door. And I knocked on those doors and got doors slammed in my face. I got in some living rooms. I got rejected. A lot of things happened in that journey that you can probably relate to, of driving around town, knocking on doors, getting in front of people to sell insurance. And what I learned in that 18-month journey was, man, there's gotta be a better way, right? When I was in that journey, I was like, this really sucks. And so as soon as I made any kind of money, I said, I'm gonna start marketing, right? I want these people to call me. I want to be able to send stuff out to them and have them call me, because I want to sit at home and do this over the phone. So as soon as I got my first couple deals in and made some money, I immediately invested in marketing, direct mail, online marketing, to get data get those people to dial me. I also started downloading lists, scraping, skip tracing them, putting them in my dialer, and started dialing out. I had a triple dialer. I would dial out. And what I found was that it was so much easier to have multiple conversations within a couple of hours. I considered a no answer just like a no answer at a door. I considered a heck no, I don't want anything from you, leave me alone, as a slam door in the face. But how many calls could I make compared to how many doors I could knock on? It was unreal. So I sat down and took everything that I was doing from the home and related on the phone. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. And really, guys, I took it from the fire department industry. When I was in the fire service, one of the things that we learned to do was I could walk into a stranger's home, introduce myself, assess the situation, figure out the problem and the pain and what was going on, who all was involved and who was going to make a decision on what was going on. Once I figured out the problem, I would come up with the protocols, a solution to give them, and we'd either treat them or package them up and get out of there and take them to where they can be treated better. That's a sales call, guys. That's all a sales call is. And I'm going to break that down in these components to show you how to do that today. But the point of this whole story is I've been there. I've knocked on doors. I've been in living rooms. I've had doors slammed in my face. And what you can drive and accomplish in Houston, Texas, where I'm at, you're lucky to be able to get to a handful of people in a day. But whatever market you're in, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in a smaller market, it's even worse. You got to drive a couple hours to get somewhere. And how many calls I can make? I'll make a couple hundred calls by the time you can drive across town. And that's what we're going to show you today. And so I finally figured out how to take this sales call into those three phases I just mentioned. I'm going to break them down for you and use it to sell anywhere, anytime. And it only took me about 100,000 appointments to figure this out. So if you've been struggling, right, this is probably why. This is probably why you don't have a system. You don't have a process. Okay. Now, you also don't have discipline and accountability, which is what I'm going to show you today. I'm not here to motivate you. Motivation is like 1% of the whole equation. I know you guys are in all different kind of organizations and they rah this and seminar that and boost you up. Motivation is a tiny portion of this. If you're disciplined to do the work and show up and disciplined to follow the process and have accountability, you will be successful 100%. So you ready for the three-phase phone sales process? All right, here we go. I'm gonna break it down. So write these down. Here's the three phases that you're going to take this person through. Phase number one, you're going to establish the relationship. I'm going to give you a little overview and then I'm going to break these down for you. I'm going to show you how to set up every call for success. Okay. I'm going to show you how to get the exact words to get your prospect to give you a yes or give you a no. I mean, you guys out there always get the think about it, right? We're going to get rid of those today. Phase number two, we're going to qualify that prospect. Okay. We're going to know how to get exactly to the real problems that they're having, the real pain. And I'm going to tell you exactly what matters when getting into a budget and get the decision maker, everybody, decision maker on the phone. And then phase three, close the sale. We're going to go over how to present the solution. Okay. And most importantly, the post sale, how to stop getting cancellations. I mean, you don't have to raise your hand, but if you've got more than a 25, if you've got more than 15% cancellation, you can raise your hand like right under the table a little bit, right? We're going to stop that noise right now, right? Because that's a huge leak in your ship, right? You worked all hard to get the sale and now you're losing it off the back end. All that work you did just gets unraveled. So let's stop that noise too, right now with this process. All right, so let's break it down. Establishing the relationship. What does that look like? Well, first it's going to be intro and rapport building. So on the phone, write this down, 7 seconds. On the phone, you have 7 seconds to grab attention, introduce yourself, and get in rapport. Now people go, oh my gosh, how do I ask them about, do you like fishing too, Bob? Do you play golf, Nancy? Like, how do I do that in 7 seconds? That's because you've been taught the wrong thing to build rapport with. It's not about that. It is about tonality. It is about It is about your voice. Your voice is all you have on the phone. You lose the physiology of matching and mirroring physiologically, but you have it with your voice. So you have timbre, tempo. Timbre is the volume, tempo is the speed, right? So how fast are they talking? If I work in 30 states and I'm a slow Texas talker, right? And so when I get on the phone with a New Yorker, right? Big fast talking New Yorker, what do they say? Slow, dumb Southerner, right? So I have to talk fast. Now, if I'm on the phone with Nancy from Georgia, right, and she's all slow and talking like that, so I got to slow down and match. Why? Because what does somebody who talks slow think about somebody who talks fast, right? They don't trust them. Slick, fast talking salesperson. So instant rapport by matching and mirroring the voice speed and the voice volume. Likewise, if somebody is a loud talker, I'm going to talk at the same volume they're talking at. I'm going to go where they're at. If somebody's soft spoken, I'm going to speak softly. Got to match and mirror. This is the key to that 7 seconds of matching and mirroring and getting rapport. Subconsciously, people will be in rapport with you if they like you, and they will like you if you sound like them. Okay. I spent many years studied. I'm a practitioner in NLP, and I'm telling you, this works. You ain't got to buy it. Go try it. Okay. It's important. 7 seconds, match and mirror, use voice and tonality. Now, once you've got some rapport and voice, you got through that 7 seconds, now you can start talking about how you relate to them, where you at. You're in Arkansas. Oh, great. My wife and I went to Hot Springs. What part of Arkansas are you from? Like, start talking to them about that. Get some rapport going. You can get friendly at that point, but you've got that 7 seconds to get that attention. Now, once you get in good rapport, set the agenda, set the rules of the game. Hey, these people don't know your rules. You got to get them to play by your rules. How many of you had people who say, I want to think about it. Let me talk to my spouse. I can rattle off several more, right? Let's get rid of those. And you just let them know the rules of my game. You know, John Doe, the rules of my game are, I'm going to go over some information. I'm going to ask you some questions. And when we get through with this, it's real simple. I can get a yes, I want to move this forward and check it out, or no, I don't. We good with that? Great. Move forward, set the rules. Now, qualifying the buyer, phase 2. Once we've got rapport, we've set the rules of the game, and now we know what's going on. We're going to go to phase 2. This is qualifying them. This is making sure in finding the pain and the problem. Look, if somebody doesn't have a problem, you can't sell them anything. If they don't know what their problem is, can't fix it. To relate back, like when I was a paramedic, when I go in, I don't know what medication to give them if they can't tell me what's hurting. What's hurting and where are you at? What's going on? How long has that been hurting? What did you do about it before? Did that work? It hasn't worked. Okay, here's the solution, right? Here's what the protocol we're going to take to fix it. So probing for pain and finding the problem, your product offers a solution to the problem. But everybody in here knows your product has many answers. You can, you have to find what that person's, is the pain point for this person money? Are they running out of time? What is the pain? That's what you have to find. What is their pain? Not what you think it is. Don't make any assumptions. Ask great questions. Like I said a while ago, how long has that been a problem? Have you ever thought about this? Have you used this or that? How long? What's been going on? Find the problem. Now, once you find the problem and you've asked that a couple of layers, a couple of questions deep, and you've got clarity on what the problem is, you can move on. Move on to budget. Now, what I like to do in the insurance space is, we all know, let's talk about the budget. Nobody wants to talk about the budget. Let's talk about it. But here's what I know. It's not money that buys life insurance. It's your health. Your health is your budget. So let's talk about your health. Okay. So this is a way to get to the budget, but you're going through the health and finding out that, right? It's kind of cool because they're like, nobody wants to talk about money. So if you do it that way, like, hey, let's talk about the budget. But one thing I know, money doesn't buy life insurance, your health does. So let's talk about that. Okay, good. I'd rather talk about that than money. So now I'm going to, all my health, all my stuff, all my medications is going to come out and get exposed. And we're going to get that figured out. Once they're comfortable, obviously, as you're moving through this conversation, you're getting layers and layers of more comfort with them. They're going to open up more when you're in great rapport and give you that budget. And then finally, decision maker. look, can you make the decisions? You know, do you have somebody have a power of attorney over you? Do you have a spouse that has to be included, right? You know, if somebody tells you, well, you know, yeah, my wife's not here, at this point, you can reschedule and have it when their spouse is going to be there, right? Or enter at your own risk and know that at the end, you're going to get that objection. Come on, guys, it's there. If you don't clear it up front, it's going to happen in the back. So if they going to have a spouse there, sometimes depending, I will reschedule and have it when the spouse is there. If you want to proceed, you can proceed at your own risk and try to overcome it here at the end. But know that if you don't, it's going to be there for sure. Now, you know, you can do some funny stuff. I like to get in good rapport and be funny. Like, you know, do you have a decision? You know, are you the only decision maker? No, my spouse is going to help me. Well, what is she going to decide? Is she going to decide she want a $50,000 check or a $200,000 check when you die? Like, you can put some jokes in there and have fun and be like, oh, like maybe I don't want my spouse on the call because I want the cheaper insurance, right? Like you can do some things to make it narrow and make it fun and get their attention. So the third phase is closing the sale, actually doing the presentation. So a lot of people jump in and do their little presentation right out of the gate, and that's the worst thing you can do. You want to make sure that you've built good rapport and have rapport throughout the call. You want to make sure that you've set the rules of the game, that you're going to get a yes or a no. You want to make sure that you've probed for enough pain and figured out their problem, and what it is, and have them tell you, not what you think it is. Make sure they've got a good budget or what that budget is, and then make sure that the decision makers are there, or that the decision can be made at the end, because also you can time down to that. That's what you agreed at the very beginning. Sometimes when you set that agenda, that will get exposed, the spouse will get exposed, and that's fine. Look, we're not sneaking some sort of ninja thing on people. We're just getting clarity all the way through. And when you are clear with your intentions and expectations and what you plan to do and what you plan to ask, then people will be very compliant and move right along with you. So now at this point that you've stacked up the pain and figured out the problem, this is where you're going to present your product, right? Your product that fits their pain, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's the amount of check coming at the end. You're going to present to them the solution to the pain that they have uncovered during this call. And then after you've presented the offer, what's really nice is usually at the end of the pain point, people say, what's next? But after you present the offer and you get the sign up and get the signature, the most important thing is stop the cancellations. Do a post-sale button up. Here's the thing, folks. I'm on the phone with you now. I've got the signatures in. We're good. Don't run off. This is where you spend the time. This is where you spend another 10 minutes or so. It just vary on the call. But this is where you spend the time wrapping up the sale. And all you have to do is set clear expectations of what's going to happen. If you're selling something that needs a medical exam, you're going to need to explain to them that process. Tell them what's going to happen. Tell them they're going to be contacted. They're going to have to schedule an exam. They're going to get it. If you're selling guaranteed issue, tell them what's going to happen, right? Tell them when the draft's going to happen. Tell them this is when the money's going to come out. Here's the next time the money's going to come out. Tell them everything that's going to happen to them based off the product you sold them. And then here comes the fun part that you're going to be scared to death of. Hey, Jane, this is awesome. So glad we're able to help your family. Glad we're able to get this in. But listen, I don't sell these things to cancel. If there's any reason right now, any seed of doubt that you may go, oh, I'd rather buy groceries this month than pay this bill. I'd rather do the mortgage than pay this deal and not get this protection, this coverage that we just clarified that you need. If there's any reason that you feel like right now that you think that you would ever miss a payment or not want to pay this, let me know right now so I can just tear this up and delete this thing off right now. Be firm. Let them know I'm gonna cancel on you right now. If you have any doubt that you're not gonna proceed on this, 1 out of 1,000 is gonna say, yeah, I want to cancel. Okay, well, you just didn't do a good enough job. Back up. You still got them on the phone, so back up and sell them. But I promise you, if you deploy this, you're gonna stop getting the cancellations. Because if they commit, it's like, yes, I'm in, I'm all in. then next Monday or next month when it comes through, that's going to ring back in their head because you've already had this conversation with them. Have it up front. If you're going to fight with anybody about anything, do it up front. Don't wait for stuff and then react to it. Handle it up front. Let them know. And then I also like to do this one. Hey, Jane, the other thing I wanted to mention is, guess what? Bob, the insurance agent, he's going to call you. Look, you're chum in the water. You filled out a form online, and now you're going to have 150 agents calling you, knocking on your door and everything else. So when Bob, the agent, calls and comes and says, hey, I can get you the same product for $5 cheaper a month. First of all, highly unlikely that's even going to happen. But what are you going to do? When Bob shows up here tomorrow and pulls out his little book and says, I can get you that same coverage $5 a month cheaper, what are you going to do? And listen, you'll know if you built up good enough rapport, because if you built up good enough rapport, they're going to be like, I'll call you, right? If they say, well, I'm going to take it, then you need to clarify, well, let's just rip this up. Or you need to say, look, if that ever comes about, if anybody ever approaches you or you're online or something happens or you get an email or somebody says, I can get you the same, this cheaper, you call me. Number one, it's false, because we've already looked and I have access to all the carriers. We've already looked, this is what fits. It's not going to be apples to apples, but we'll look at it. Come back to me, we'll look at it. If some new products come out that's going to fit, we'll talk about it, right? So get them to come to you. You take those 2 steps and do the post-sale button up, and you're going to lower your cancellation rates. And if you can drop that by 10%, whatever your volume is, that's a big number. 10% is a big number. It's a big number if you're only doing 10, right? Because it saves you 1. It's a big number if you're doing 10,000 because it saves you 1,000. So 10% is a big number to cut off the bottom of work you've already done. So hang on to it. And that's it. That's how you get through the 3 phases. Now, my favorite one, objections. Why is this slide blank? Because if you follow this process, there are no objections. If you've walked them through building rapport, setting the agenda for a yes or a no, and you've walked through the pain and you presented an offer that fits their budget to the decision maker, where's the objection? It's yes or no, right? Now, I know a lot of you are like, oh, that's my favorite thing. I want you to go over objections. Look, I learned a long time ago. I had 254 objections written down, objection handling, rebuttals. Can't remember them. Can't go to them when you get under pressure. It's hard to remember. So look, I'm not going to leave you hanging, guys. I'm going to give you some information. Okay. Here's how I do handle objections. Because look, nobody's perfect, right? So even if you do this process, sometimes you don't do it perfectly and something squeaks through and somebody ends up giving you some objections toward the end. Here's what you need to know. Number one, I want you to focus on get an app a day. Focus on that. This is the thing in your head, right? I just need to get an app a day. But you can control that, right? So do that. And here's what you need to do. Some closing techniques. You need to remember these 3 words are your biggest friends, okay? The word because, the word imagine, and then my favorite is let's pretend. You can use imagine a lot because imagine gets people to visualize what's going on. We're all dreamers and visualizing people. So it's good to use the word imagine because it takes them out of the situation that they're right there with you and puts them where you want them to be. So you can do that with handling objections. Because is good because people listen to everything that comes after that and not worried about what comes before it. And the most powerful word you can use is the let's pretend. So this is how I handle every objection. Let's pretend. Or stalls and objections with let's pretend, because it is a way for you to present what's going to happen and figure it out without ever having to do it, right? So let's pretend I need to talk to my spouse, even though, well, Bob, you told me you're going to say yes or no, and the decision maker was there. Well, I lied. I got to talk to my wife. Okay, Bob, look, let's pretend you do that. And you explain to her X, Y, Z and everything went over. What's she going to say? What's going to happen? Right? And you can use that for any objection, right? Let's pretend we do that. Let's pretend that happens. Let's pretend that's the case. Let's pretend we solve that problem. Let's pretend that's the only thing. What's going to happen? Get them to go there. And then here's a very powerful one. I don't have it on the slide, so you need to write it down. Write this down. I don't know, period. And then underneath that, write this down. I know you don't know, but if you did. I know you don't know, but if you did. So anytime somebody gives you an I don't know answer, you deliver it like this. Jane, look, I know you don't know, but if you did. They'll spit it out before you get did, the period at the end of the sentence. So if somebody gives you an I don't know, well, let's pretend we do that. You take the deal, you show her this, what's going to happen? I don't know. Look, I know you don't know, but if you did, well, she'll probably do the blah, 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 blah. They'll say it every time. Super, super powerful. That is a one I want you to write down and hang on to. So let's pretend, and I know you don't know, but if you did. Two good nuggets that'll get you out of a lot of situations and move forward. Now, that's objections. That's how you handle them. That's easy to remember, right, folks? You ain't got to remember 254 one-liners. Just do let's pretend. It'll work out. I got to talk to Bob, the third base coach. Well, let's pretend you did that and you told him this and this. What's going to happen, right? Well, I got to think about it till next Tuesday. And okay, well, let's pretend you thought about it till next Tuesday. What's going to happen based off everything we talked about? So you see, you can use it for everything. And I'm going to give you one more and we're going to move on. All right. I'm running up on time here. So we'll give you one more. At the end of every call, you can always use when somebody doesn't buy, doesn't sign up, doesn't fill out an application, doesn't do what you want them to do. There's three things, right? There's three reasons you're not moving forward with me today. Number one, you don't believe in it. I didn't do a good enough job explaining it. Number two, you don't have the money, you can't afford it. Number three, you don't like me. It's not me, is it? I'll say it again because I know you're writing this down. Number one, there's three reasons you're not moving forward with me today. Number one, you don't believe in it. I didn't do a good enough job, or I didn't do a good enough job explaining it. Number two, you can't afford it. You don't have the money. Number three, you don't like me. It's not me, is it? That way you take yourself off the table, comes down to two choices, and it's clarity. Either you need to go back and explain it better and get them to believe it, or it's the money. A lot of times it's the money. You didn't get that clear enough at the beginning. That's another one. Super, super powerful. Get you out of any bind that you're in. Three reasons. All right, now, what did I do? What was my total investment to learn all this, guys? Well, about 41,600 hours and about $750,000. That's what my investment was to learn all this. Now, good news is you don't have to put in 41,600 hours or $700,000. Listen. This works for final expense. This works for mortgage protection. This works for life insurance, IULs, annuities, health insurance, Medicare. This works for all types of agents, okay? And what you got to know is there is a new, better way, right? Which is training plus accountability, or courses and coaching, as people call it. Training and accountability. And we've got that through our Growth Plus business coaching that we do. Now, this is something that Alex and I put together, and here's why Growth Plus will work for you. In Growth Plus, we have real-time knowledge, real-time street knowledge, always being delivered, always being accounted. We have recorded sessions, so everything is documented and everything can be re-listened to. Even calls can be recorded and put in there. We have successful agents who are in Growth Plus. So you're in a community of like-minded, successful agents. We have expert coaches. Each coach is expert within their discipline, and they're there to deliver for you. We have a proven system with a great track record right there in front of you. We have support, which everybody needs. We have a mastermind type setting, which is a wonderful way to learn. And most importantly, we have accountability. Without accountability, you got nothing. So that's what we have here. That's why this system works. That's why it's proven. That's why you need to get involved. So who here thinks the three-phase system is awesome, right? And who wants me to help them craft out your very own phone script? I see a couple hands waving good. So, all right, I'm going to give you a final expense script right here, and you can tweak it to whatever else you're doing. This script is straight out, does $10 million a year. You guys ready? All right, listen up. After you've obviously set and built rapport, or however your lead came in, hey, you filled out my giveaway funnel. I'm here to verify your information. Here's what I do. Then you're going to insert this. Or you did Facebook lead ad form, right? Hey, I'm calling to verify you filled out a form. What's your favorite hobby? Blah, 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 blah. Then you're going to do this. Hey, Bob, I'm a licensed agent with the state of Texas. They make me say that. And over the next few minutes, my job is to explain all the benefits you requested or are entitled to. I will ask you a few questions. We're going to find the right carrier for you. And most importantly, at the price that makes sense. And if you do want to get coverage today, then we can have that done by the end of the call. And if you don't, that's fine too. Just let me know, okay? That's it. Now, what'd you hear in there? You heard the yes and the no, right? A, they like it when, look, they make me say that. Then they know you work for somebody. People want to know that you work for somebody. That's a good little disarming effect. My job is to explain the benefits you requested and are entitled to. People are entitled to benefits. They want to hear what they're entitled to, right? I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're telling them what's going to happen to them. We're going to find the right carrier for you. Most importantly, we're going to find it at a price that makes sense. The makes sense you can use as a tie down a little bit later. And then here's your yes or no. If you do want to get coverage today, we can have that done at the end, by the end of the call. If you don't, that's fine too. Just let me know. So now I've given you permission. You've given me permission to ask you questions, and I have confirmed that you're going to tell me yes, and you're going to tell me no. So I'll read it one more time, and then you can listen to the recording. I'm a licensed agent with the state of Texas. They make me say that. And over the next few minutes, my job is to explain all the benefits you requested and are entitled to. I'm going to ask you a few questions to find the right carrier for you. Most importantly, at the price that makes sense. If you do want to get coverage today, hey, we can have that done by the end of the call. And if you don't, that's fine too. Just let me know, okay? Then you go into probing, rapport, more probing, more questions. All right. When the pandemic was removed, everybody remembers 2020, right? And for you door-to-door folks, we got panic phone calls, all right? But when those restrictions were removed, you got to realize the walls were taken down forever, and we never have to go back to being restricted to knee-to-knee sales. It's all open forum. Here's the most important part to remember about this. The audience, right? The clients, your market got educated on Zoom. Your market got educated on the phone. Your market got educated that they don't have to go meet you. You were educated to go to their house and go to their note and get knee to knee with them. And that's what they were used to. But now you don't have to educate the market on Zoom. You don't have to educate the market to doing business over the phone, because they've been doing it for a long time, well over a year. And they're going to keep doing it. And it's going to be the new way of doing things. So it's been around, but now it's more anchored into the audience, which is even better, right? It makes your job much easier. Now, selling over the phone used to be complicated. It's not anymore. And that's why, because the audience is educated. You don't have to ma'am, you got to press the code on Zoom. They already do that. They already know Zoom. They already know how to get on there. So they're used to doing it this way. But selling insurance over the phone isn't easy, but it is simple. It's as simple as the 3 phases I went over. Establishing the relationship, right? Building rapport, setting that agenda and the rules of the game, qualifying the prospect, making sure and finding the pain, find the real problems, find out what's going on, find their budget, make sure the decision makers are there, and then close the sale by presenting, fulfilling the fulfillment, present the product that solves the pain you exposed. That simple, nothing else. Expose the problem, solve the problem. And then the most important thing, button that sell up, tell them what's going to happen in the future. You don't set these things up to cancel, you set them up for life. Now, would you give me permission to work with you to help you sell insurance over the phone? Because if you will, and if you would, here's how fast I'll get you results. I have folks that get results after going through this program on their very first phone call. I have folks that take 2 weeks. I've never seen anyone take more than 30 days. Most people within the first few phone calls are already closing deals better. and definitely in a 2-week time period are just crushing it. Crushing it. So let me ask you a question. What impact do you think this new skill will have on your career? And what impact will not knowing how to sell on this have on your career? Think about that. So get into Growth Plus. Let's get started. I'll show you what we're going to get. Okay. So here's what happens with Growth Plus. You're going to get instant access to our full library of courses. This is every course that Alex and I have ever created. Okay. There are hundreds of courses in there, $24,000 worth of courses in there. These are courses we sell anywhere from $200 to $2,000 a piece. You have instant access to the entire library, right? You also are going to get weekly coaching calls with our expert coaches, and you're going to get my closer room training. That is those 3 phases broken down into every single step with video training, all packaged in that deal. You get all of that as well. Now, remember, this works for final expense, mortgage protection, life insurance, IULs, annuities, health insurance, Medicare. Works for all types of agents. Now, what our members will get is that library full access, $27,000 worth of products, instant turnkey access, weekly coaching calls valued at $14,500 a year for weekly coaching calls, and then my closer room video training. It's a $6,000 course. All this comes in the Growth Plus package. Now, I hear your concern. Man, you're going to give me all this course and content. You're going to hold my hand, give me accountability. You're going to give me some training on how to do it and exactly how to deliver this. But what I do about leads? Well, don't worry. I'm going to help you generate leads too. As a bonus, you can get a free ticket to our next giveaway funnel bootcamp, so you can learn how to do lead generation through the giveaway funnel system as well. We're doing the giveaway funnel for 8 years. We've had built over 10,000 of them. They're phenomenal. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to get the branding library, full access, the entire thing, turnkey, open the door. It's all yours. The vault is open. The weekly coaching calls every single Wednesday. You're going to get a call to spend on Zoom with us, Alex, myself, and our coaches. You're going to get my closer room training. It's going to walk you through the entire process. It's total value, $47,897. Not to mention the 41,000 hours that I put into learning and the $750,000 I spent getting the skill set to show you. On the giveaway bootcamp value, $400 ticket, you're going to get that for free as well. So you're going to get all of this. And if all this did was finally get you confident on the phone, would it be worth it? If it helped you make more sales in less time, would it be worth it? If it gives you the freedom to grow your business in the comfort of your own home and save on gas and save on water and save on clothes because you're not sweating them out, would it be worth it? Now, I had 2 choices here, folks. My first option was just give you access to a course, right? Sell you a course, give you access to it. Alex and I have done this many, many times. We know what we're doing there, no problem. Or second option was I could include my course so you could learn at your own pace, provide you with weekly group coaching calls to help you master these skills and hold you accountable and overcome your obstacles along the way as you build it. Now, what is this investment? I have a special offer for you, okay? What does this investment cost? I'm about to share that with you. And when I share with you, after telling you everything you're going to get and then telling you everything it took to get us here to it, that we're just going to open it to you, you're going to go like, is that it? So guys, here it is. Get started now, today, for just $500. That's it. $500 today gets you started. It gets you enrolled at growthplus.biz is where you'll get started now. And in a few minutes, I'm going to go over a couple more things. In a few minutes, I'm going to do a special offer for the first 5 people that sign up. So if you want to go ahead and head on over to growthplus.biz and be one of those first 5, go right ahead. I'll share with what that special is. I promise you it'll be worth it. So we will be checking and tracking who gets the first 5. So you want to be one of those first 5, hop on over there and take care of that while I walk through a couple of other things. So you've got 2 choices here, guys. You can first do nothing, right? hey, came out, had a good time, enjoyed visiting with you. You could do nothing and keep getting what you get. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. Or you can spend $500 a month on a subscription, get access to our entire library of courses, our weekly coaching calls, and get a free ticket to our next giveaway funnel boot camp. That's a $400 value. Now, I do comes with a guarantee, always do. And here it is, the 30-day guarantee. If you take action and this doesn't give you an increase in your business, just email me back, request to cancel. I'll cancel your subscription, no hassle, no pressure. You get to keep the bootcamp course with our compliments. Look, we're here to help you succeed. This is what we want to do. We're not here to hassle you, and we're here to help you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do our very, very best. And you've got the real question to answer, and it's here. Are you going to deposit checks? Or are you going to deposit excuses? Because you can't deposit excuses. Let's go make some money, folks. Let's get together. growthplus.biz. And then I'm going to, oh yeah, I got to give a special, right, for the first 5 people. Here we go. For the first 5 people that go sign up right now, I'm going to invite you to a one-on-one dial session where we're going to come in and help you succeed on the phone. It's a $2,500 value. I'm going to give that out for free to the first 5 people that sign up. So growthplus.biz. Growthplus.biz. First 5 people that get over there, you're invited to a one-on-one dial session. We're going to walk you through and help you be successful right out of the gate. You can get started now right over there. Now, look, folks, it's been a pleasure sharing these phases with you and sharing these nuggets. And I want to see you succeed so bad, but I can't do it for you, but I can do it with you. All you got to do is get in our group. I've really enjoyed the time today. Thank you so much for letting me share this with you. It's been a blast. I look forward to seeing you in Growth Plus, where I can work with you closely, hand in hand, and help you succeed. And we'll go ahead and just welcome you aboard. So, Alex, has anybody put any questions in?
Do not have any questions, just a whole bunch of thank yous and a lot of notes that were shared. So this is awesome. Super excited to see the first 5 people jump in here, and we got a list for those of you who have signed up. So Kobe will be reaching out to schedule that one-to-one. And Tracy, yes, we will have a replay that will be sent out to every single person here, and that way you can watch it again, take notes, and take action. Thank you guys so much for coming. Colby, thank you so much for meeting us on this call, man. This is great.
I love it. I appreciate it. And I tell you what, it always makes me smile. With no questions, that means that's a good feedback. It means you did a good job explaining it. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in Growth Plus. Get out there. Let's go make it happen.